Okay, well, we don't want to gossip too much here, but is Jay Woodcroft going to get fired? Because we thought yesterday, Pete, that we were seeing the deepest cratering the Oilers could do, and we were even saying like how
I didn't
much.
think that.
Well,
It can always get worse.
Like when does it get worse? And we were talking long term. I also did think it would get like a little worse, and we didn't get a chance to talk about the Oilers and betting odds. I'd like to get to that in just a minute, but I didn't think the very next day we would have to get Oilers in the show early because we all had Oilers Canucks circled last night, and the Oilers come out, Ekholm puts them up 1-0. They outshoot the Canucks, I want to say like 17-2 in the first 10. It was 19-2. Yeah. Allow 3 straight goals. Wheels completely fall off. Connor McDavid decides to rebrand as a bad bitch. Jay Woodcroft gets tossed out of the game. And something, Pete, about the 6th goal they allowed with like 55 seconds left.
That was tough.
That really felt like the end of something.
It didn't feel like the end of anything. It felt like the beginning of the Oilers' downfall. The wheels are coming off. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, the goaltending is obviously the biggest issue here, and you can look at that in one of two ways, because I don't know anything about goaltending. I've said that forever. I evaluate goaltending based off of how much I like the goaltender.
Smart.
And yeah, right. Like on a personal level, the goaltending is bad. It's the 32nd ranked team in terms of save percentage in the league. You can't win no matter who you have. You can't win if you have the worst ranked goaltending in the league. But without being able to evaluate goaltending, my thought is, well, it can only get better. And if they even get league average goaltending, and I think that Stuart Skinner is better than what he's shown to this point. He was bad last night.
Skinner was really, really bad last night.
It could only get better, but like they do need a fix because you can't put yourself into this deep a hole, and you just can't win without goaltending.
I was having a boys' night with Sean watching the game, and he allowed a goal that you just kind of beat cleanly, and I was like, goalies usually make the first save these days. I just like I need, as an Oilers fan, need a save there. And shortly after, he makes the first save, kicks out a huge rebound, and they score on the rebound. And I don't want to say he's not it, but like they're in a position right now where every small thing turns into a big thing that you need your goaltender to, if not bail you out, at least not exacerbate the problem. And right now their goaltending is exacerbating the problem.
I do think that there's a road back. But like you mentioned, this team is it's like a snowball effect where everything that goes wrong seems like it's the end of the world. When you look at the numbers, so if we want to get nerdy about it, the analytics have the Oilers with the 2nd best expected goals rate in the NHL, 23rd in reality. So, like, if that comes back and meets somewhere in the middle and the goaltending improves, they're going to start to win games. But it's just a question of how long this skid goes on, how long everything feels like it's going to be the end of the world, and is the hole too deep that you dig to start the season?
I don't think right now the hole could be too deep, but it does turn what was a jokey thing we were talking about later this week on Thursday. The Oilers will play the Sharks in what could be, depending on what the Sharks do tonight, an opportunity for San Jose to get their first win of the season. I want to ask you this. Do you know how many teams currently separate the Oilers and Sharks in the standings?
1.
League-wide?
1.
0. The Sharks are 32nd in points.
That's what I meant.
And
I know the Oilers are
31st. So as jokey as like, oh, what if they beat the Oilers? Sharks are the worst team in the league. Oilers are the 2nd worst team in the league. And
that's crazy.
We saw Jay Woodcroft get tossed out of the game with about 10 minutes left last night for giving the officials lip. If they lose that game on Thursday, he gets fired.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That, and I need the Sharks to lose tonight. They play the Philadelphia Flyers. I need them to lose tonight. I'm going to be watching that game like it's my goddamn Super Bowl. I will be watching, if that happens, if they lose, I will be watching Thursday night's game, Oilers, Sharks, like it's my second Super Bowl. Every Oilers game to this point, even last night's game against the Canucks, was my Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I'm like living for the Oilers to be a disaster right now. And I want them to come out of it eventually. I think the league is in a better spot when Connor McDavid and the Oilers are relevant. But I am really enjoying what's happening right now.
The Oilers were actually, no, based on our preseason predictions that we showed last week that were clearly done before the season. But at an earlier point in that offseason, I thought that the Oilers would get out of the Western Conference and make a run to the Stanley Cup final. Are they too lost right now? Because even when I thought they would go to the Stanley Cup final, I didn't place a wager, and I'm a betting man. I didn't place a future on them. I cautioned friends and betting friends to not place a future on them and to wait, because I thought they would kind of dick around for a little bit.
Yeah,
the odds would improve. Right. They would do some Oilers shit. The odds would improve, and basically you just try to pounce at the right time. I checked the odds like 5 days ago. They're probably better now, but they had gone from preseason plus 1,500 to, as of a few days ago, plus 1,800. I imagine it's going to keep going in the direction of you're going to get better and better odds. Should you be viewing the Oilers as a potential 2019 St. Louis Blues team where they're going to crater, maybe fire the coach, but at the end of the day, the bones of the house are so good they could still do some damage?
No.
Really?
No.
I
don't think that the bones are like,
I've abandoned my boy.
I mean, they obviously have the pillars. I don't think that they have the fully constructed bones of the house. Like the back end is such a problem. Defensive structure, goaltending, you can't win in this league without it. And we're starting to see like the rest of the house start to crumble now. So no, but I will tell you a bet that I did place yesterday: Connor McDavid to win the Hart plus 250. Anytime you can get Connor McDavid to win the Hart at plus money is a good bet. Plus 250, like, he is still delivering. And again, I think the Oilers will come out of this at some point. I think that they're going to make the playoffs. And, you know, if they suck the rest of the way and they still make the playoffs, Connor McDavid is going to win the Hart, because he'll be the reason. He'll be dragging their lifeless corpse, him and Draisaitl, to the playoffs. And he'll probably have like 120 points still, and he'll win the Hart because he's the most important player to that team.
Oilers fans, please let me know if there is like a 33-year-old goaltender, like a rando dude in the Oilers system who could be, and I know that Binnington was young, but like who could be like the Aiden Hill type that just kind of comes out of nowhere but is kind of there, and they're like, hey, why the fuck not? And he ends up being the guy. If the Oilers grow a rando goaltender, then fuck yeah.
That's what I mean. I can't evaluate goaltending. It is like magic beans in this league. You can just pick a guy off the street, and for 2 months he'll give you a .940 save percentage. It happens seemingly all the time.